Hey, sports fans, and I welcome everyone to another edition of Sports Memo's Pro Football Forecast. I'm your host, world champion handicapper, Las Vegas' biggest daily sports bettor, Joe D'Amico. Guys, this show you're going to receive a ton of free winners from some of Sports Memo's documented winning cappers. Today's show, explosive, explosive, explosive. Guys, we feature Ronald Cabang, Jesse Schule, and myself, Joe D. We're going to keep it tight. We're going to jump right in. NFL winners this Sunday, Mr. Ronald Cabang.
Thanks, Joe. So my first NFL game is going to be on the Bears and the Browns. Justin Fields is going to get his first start of his career against a top-tier pass rush, but the Bears possess a top-tier defense in themselves. I think their defense is what keeps them in this game against the Browns. All eyes is going to be on Fields, and I think he's going to come through with a decent showing. He has solid weapons to throw to on all levels. I feel like he got the jitters out last week when he came in after Dalton's injury. He got sacked a couple times. He threw an INT. Offensively, I think they're going to dial up a couple long bombs for him, and he's going to connect on at least one of them. On the flip side, the Browns receiving core is hurting. Landry's now on IR, and Odell, he's questionable. The Browns are going to have to rely on the ground game this week, and defensively, the Browns pass rush is what scares me. Fields will need to limit giveaways, and he's gonna get rushed. That's gonna happen. But he's gonna have to make smart decisions and take care of the ball. Overall, I think the Browns do win this game, but I think the Bears stick around and cover the spread. I'm taking Bears +7.
Ronald Cabang. He tells you take the Bears plus the points. It's a great play, Ron. That's something that also caught my eye. Great play. You made a believer out of me. And I know you're going to make a believer out of everyone else because you're always on the leaderboard over at Sports Memo. Can you tell everyone what you have going on NFL this weekend, Sports Memo, please?
Yeah, I mean, so last week's show, I went 2-0 on the plays that I put out. Last week on the subscriber plays, I went 4-0. So this week, I wanna keep that streak going. I want to keep going. I think I'm gonna have 2 more subscriber plays on Sunday. I think that's gonna be what I believe is gonna be it after these 2 free plays.
You heard of you, Grant? We've got you, Capper. He's the number one capper out there. I love him. He went on fire last week on the Sports Memo Pro Football Forecast. He on fire with his premium plays. He's made a believer out of me. Hey, guys, by the way, across our names, you see our Twitter handles. Follow us, like us, comment. Go over to Sports Memo. Follow, like, comment. Even negative comments, which I can't believe you would have any negative comments. We want your input. We value your input. Without you, we wouldn't be here. So please go down to Sports Memo, Twitter, their social media pages. Follow them on YouTube. You're going to love it. I want you to follow Jesse, follow Ronald, follow me. Tell us the things you like. Tell us the things you don't like. I'll get back to you. Trust me. I know Jesse and Ronald are very open. By the way, guys, not only are we 3 of the best handicappers at Sports Memo, or on the planet, I should say, across the bottom of your screen, you're going to see a discount package, 33% off any capper, daily play package. Use code PLAY33. I love it. Jesse gave a game. Ronald gave a game. They tell you, oh, no, we got to go to Jesse. Right, Jesse?
Yes.
They call him. He's always batting third around here, but today he's batting second because there's only 3 of us. I love him. You love him. They call him the Body. He's a monster workout guy. He's a monster handicapper. He's on the leaderboards again this week. Jesse Schule.
All right, Joe, better late than never. So I'm looking at the LA Chargers are playing the Kansas City Chiefs. I like the Chargers plus 6.5, but you know the whole world loves the Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes. You know how I know the whole world loves the Chiefs? Because they're a 6.5-point favorite this week, coming off a loss where they looked really bad against the Ravens. And the stats do not paint a pretty picture for these Chiefs. Their defense has allowed 65 points so far in their first 2 games. Last season, in the red zone, the Chiefs' defense allowed opponents to convert on touchdowns in 36 of 47 opportunities. Dead last in the NFL. That's 77%. That's terrible. You know what it is this year? Does anybody know? It's 8 of 8. Opponents have had 8 opportunities, and they've converted on touchdowns 8 times.
Wow.
And, of course, we got the Chargers coming in. They got screwed last week against Dallas, if anybody watched that game. All the penalties. They had 2 touchdowns pulled off the board. They probably deserved a better fate. Now, granted, they did make a few mistakes, but I believe the Chargers are a good enough team with Justin Herbert to hold their own in Kansas City. In fact, the history tells us that they are. If you look at it, the The Chargers won at Kansas City last year, and they played a close game at home against Kansas City last year. And the Chiefs are 2-10 against the spread in their last 12 as a favorite. So I'm looking at a close game here, folks. Take the points.
Take the points with the Chargers. Jesse the Body Schule. I love it, Jesse. You made a believer out of me. I know you made a believer out of everybody watching out there. Make more a believer out of them. Tell them what you got going on NFL this weekend. Sports Memo, please.
Well, just like Ronald, I was 2-0 with my NFL picks on this show last week. And I had a 3-pack of early games, and I hit 2 of those early games. You know what the loser was? It was the LA Chargers getting screwed against Dallas with those 2 touchdowns coming off the board. So let's go for a 3-0 sweep this week with my all-early 3-pack. Why don't we?
Jesse the Body Schule got a 3-pack. Guys, take advantage of him. 33% of any capper daily player package. Use code PLAY33. Guys, you can do it for myself, Ronald, Jesse. Speaking of myself, I've got something I'm very, very into. And I know I never get enthusiastic on the show, guys. I'm very enthusiastic about something going off early on Sunday. As far back as I can remember, sports fans, no matter who is under center, Detroit just can't win. You know, I looked this up. The last year Barry Sanders donned a Lions uniform, I believe it was 1998. And, guys, it's been 23 years since that offense had a single playmaker, all right? They haven't had a playmaker since. I don't want to talk about Megatron. They haven't had a playmaker since, guys. Barry was the last great player they had on offense. And it's just every year it's the same situation. Let's put a pin in that for a moment. Now, through the first 2 games, the Baltimore defense faced Vegas and KC, 2 big offenses. The Ravens D will make an example of the Lions offense here. Let's go flip side. Take that pin out. We're coming back around. The Detroit defense has gotten smoked for over 76 points already. In comes one of the most explosive offenses in the NFL, Baltimore. Number 1 in rushing. Number 3 in total yards. Number 4 in scoring. Yikes. This is going to get out of hand, guys. The Ravens have won and covered the last 3 meetings in the series, outscoring the Lions 110-39. Guys, this game gets uglier than a Kardashian prior to cosmetic surgery, and that's friggin' ugly. They are going to beat them. They're going to beat them bad. They need to make an example and make a statement to the rest of the NFL that the first few weeks were a little fluky, guys. Guys, some ATS trends for you. Baltimore 6-1 the last 7 as a favorite, 11-5 the last 16 on the road, 8-2 the last 10 overall. Lay the 8 points here. They're going to win big, and I'm telling you, you ever see a Kardashian before cosmetic surgery? It's ugly. This game is going to be uglier than that. Take the Ravens. Sports fans, I want you to know, personally, this entire football season, over at Sports Memo, I put up 10 big games. 10 big games, 9-1 on big game releases. Guys, this Sunday, I'm going to have my first 10-unit play. It is not going to get bigger or better than this. Be on this game. You'll be a winner. By Monday, you'll name your next born after me. I promise you that. Ronald loves my joke. You love my jokes, Ronald. I love you. Before we go to another round, I went and I spoke to some of my friends over at the Westgate Superbook, which is my favorite place to go put in a game and go watch a game. Guys, if you haven't been to the Westgate Superbook, they have the largest array of props and bets you can put anywhere on the planet. They have more props and bets than any 5 books combined. Plus, it's a great place to put a bet in, great place to watch a game. It just doesn't get any more exciting than the Westgate Superbook. But I spoke to my friends over there today, and they let me know about a couple of moves in the NFL that sharp money has moved. Sharp money and public money, both on the Bucks. They opened 2.5 down to 1.5. They expect it to be a very, very one-sided game as far as action comes. I mean, obviously, we know who the public likes to bet. We know that I seen even handicappers, Jesse and Ronald, all week talking about the Bucks. Sharp money, general public money are on the same side, which kind of scares me there. Not going to tell you. Let me throw something off the cuff now that I'm just talking about this. When you guys see that a lot of people, not just the general public, but even guys in the industry are all on one side. Let's say, you know, I know that I watch some of these shows like this one. They're not as good as this one. They don't have us. But I watch some shows like this. When I see 3, 4, 5 guys on the panel and all 5 guys like one side, I will definitely go the opposite side, only because I like to play contrarian. When everybody's on one side, I go the other. Ronald, let me start with you. What is your take on that, if you don't mind?
I mean, I think we'll get to it in my second game because that's exactly what I'll be doing. I have a feeling a lot of the public's going to be on one side of the ball, one side of the play. And when that line moves to a certain point, you start to get some value on the other side, and that's kind of like the situation that I like. I know a lot of people that I talk to about games too. I mean, right before the game, you had the whole panel. They get the, who do you think is going to win this game or whatever. If all the panel choose one side, they're likely going to go ahead and throw that bet in on the other side, even if they didn't have it on their board. Period.
There you go. There you go, Ron. Jesse, what's your take on that, please?
I really try to block out all the noise. I don't want other people's opinions influencing my opinion. I mean, I have to hold my opinion with high regard. And unless somebody can come to me with new information that I'm not privy to, I mean, if they can tell me, well, I happen to know that this guy's a little under the weather or something, then then they will influence me. If they don't have any new information for me, I'm going to roll with my opinion every time.
Thank you. That's a good angle. Jesse, Ronald, I've been doing this literally since I'm 10 years old in the schoolyard, and I worked for some of the biggest bookmakers in the world, worked here in Vegas. There was a time when maybe certain people, certain crews can get good information on where lines are going to move or even an injury or two. But right now, everybody, because of technology, everybody has a computer at their fingertips. Everybody's got a phone, a tablet, a computer. Everybody can find out weather conditions. They can find out injuries as fast as they're coming out, really. And line movements, you see them moving in front of you. You just don't know exactly who's moving them. Some professionals like us could figure it out, who's moving a line, whether it's general public or sharp money. But I also think that sometimes technology works against us. I think some people can look too much or read too much into a game or a situation. They overthink it. I know for me personally, I usually go with my gut because over the years, when I read too much into it, it bites me in the ass, so to speak. I overthink it. I put too much into it. It's usually that first gut instinct that's usually my most honest and my best. Any thoughts on that, Jesse or Ronald?
Yeah, no, I tend to agree with you there.
Yeah. All right. Ronald, any thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I feel the same way. I mean, usually most of these plays are initially gut feel. I mean, that's how you weed out the games that you don't even really focus on, period. Like if you get a whole list of like 13 games per week and you identify like 3 spots right away off the bat, you're just gonna focus on those and cap those to your best ability. I think that's where your gut kind of helps in the capping aspect.
Good point, Ronald. Thank you very much. While you have the floor, would you mind giving everyone another big winner for NFL, if you don't mind?
Yeah. So my second NFL game is on the Saints and the Patriots game. Offensively, the Saints haven't been great, period. I mean, they're dead last in the league in total yards per game and passing yards per game through the first 2 weeks. We saw the same old Jamies last week throwing 2 interceptions against a strong Panthers defense. I'm fully expecting the Saints to get back to the short game this week. They'll focus on getting Kamara involved early and often. I think we'll see a little more Taysom Hill as well. I'm expecting to see a ton of yards after the catch for the Saints this week. That's what I see their offense doing. On the Patriots side of the ball, Mac Jones and the Patriots offense, they struggled on third downs last week, only converting 3 of 12 third down opportunities. I think they're really focused on trying to improve those situations to extend drives and lengthen time of possession. Defensively, I think they possess one of the top 10 teams, defensive units in the league. Currently, they're tied for second in the league in points allowed per game at just 11.5. I actually think both defenses will come up with some key takeaways this week, and they're going to give their offensive short fields to work with. So even with their offenses struggling, they're going to be in great position to score, and they're going to be in that position often. Last week, the Jets found a way to get to Mac Jones, and I think the Saints is going to have a similar success at rushing at him. And so I'm going to predict that he's going to throw his first interception of his career against the New Orleans Saints. And with all that said, I think 42 points is too low for this game as a total. So I'm going to take with the takeaways in the short field situation, I'm going to take the over up to 44 points.
Ronald Cabang, big game for Ronald. I agree with you. I looked at that game and I thought the same thing right away. And I mean, great minds think alike. I love it. Can you tell everybody what's going on over at Sports Memo this weekend NFL one more time, please?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so on Sunday, I have 2 games in mind already for subscriber plays, for premium plays. if I add one or two more, there'll likely be like a smaller unit bet size, but two key games I have in mind already for Sunday.
Ronald got some winners. Go over to Sports Memo, guys. Ronald's on the leaderboard, always on the leaderboard. 33% off any capper daily play or package. Use code PLAY33. Let's go right into him, man. He is killing it in multiple sports. You know him. I know him. We both love him. Jesse Schule, NFL, please.
All right. Well, I really love that first pick on the Chargers. That's a really big one for me this week. But this one I don't love quite as much. It's one that I wouldn't be putting out as a premium pick because it's the Atlanta Falcons and the New York Giants, and it's going to be hard to convince anybody to bet on either of those two teams, isn't it? Two winless teams, battle of the bottom feeders. I mean, the NFC East, is it the NFC least? But the Falcons have already managed to lose 32-6 to an even weaker NFC East team in Philly. And the home teams won 5 of the last 6. And the Giants won last week, didn't they? No, they should have won. They did win. The game was over. Missed field goal. A whistle goes, a flag goes on the ground. Instant replay seems to indicate that it was a bad call, but second chance at the field goal and the Giants lose that game. They got to be pissed about that, but they've got extra time to prepare coming off a Thursday night game. Matty Ice is ice cold. He's thrown more picks than touchdown passes this year. On the road, dome team playing outside New York. I'll get the Giants. Small favorite.
Jesse the Body Schule taking the Giants. Jesse, what else you got going on this week in NFL?
I'm going to be stacked up with 10-plus plays as always. Got the all early 3-pack early games. Going to have a ton of player props. We got soccer. We got baseball. We're going to be fully loaded.
Jesse Schule, locked and loaded. Guys, go over to Sports Memo. Jesse's on the leaderboard on multiple sports. Use that discount, 33% off any capper daily player package. Play 33 is the code. Guys, I've got another winner, and I'll tell you what. I don't know yet why I didn't put this up as a premium play. It's because I really love my premium plays this week. I really do. This almost made it as a premium play, especially because of the line. I want to talk about one of the biggest marquee games on the board this weekend. Packers, guys, they're still slated to represent the NFC come this February. We all know that. Little slow start, but this is a team that everybody feels is going to be one of the teams in the NFC that have one of the best shots to be in the Super Bowl. Their embarrassing season opening loss fueled their fire last week. Their game was as sharp as we could expect it to be, coming off a loss like they had an opening week, embarrassing loss. You still got to have some emotional shock. They came back, they played very sharp, they played very well. But this is the matchup. Green Bay needs to put any doubts behind them, sports fan. San Fran has a slew, and I mean a slew of injuries, particularly to their running game. I double and triple checked before coming on this podcast, guys. 5 running backs are listed as questionable or out. Some of them are their best players. I mean, I'm going to tell you right now, without a solid rushing attack to crutch on, Jimmy G just isn't the same quarterback, folks. He could look outstanding at times, and sometimes he looks absolutely downright deplorable. Why? Because he doesn't have a good running game to crutch on. He doesn't have one here. Now let's flip it. On the other hand, Aaron Rodgers, he is an MVP quarterback, and he shines in both tough situations and in big games. This contest, he shines like the sun here. I'm going to leave it just like me, very short and extremely sweet. Here's some ATS trends for you guys. The 49ers are 2-6, the last 8 at home. 5-20-1, the last 26 as a home favorite. They crush bettors in this situation, and if you follow them, they're going to crush you too. I love the line here. It's 3.5. Bet it now. You're going to take your bookmaker's money, guys. I like the Pack here. I really do. I think this line, even without the line, I think the Pack can win this game straight up. I think they will win this straight up. But I'll take 3 in the hook because that is just a Christmas gift come early, guys. Just want you to know this football season, I put out 10 big games, 9-1. I'm the best big game hunter on the planet. Go over to Sports Memo. This Sunday, I'm going to have a 10-unit play, my first NFL 10-unit of the campaign. I'm going to tell you right now, come Monday morning, you're going to name your next born after me, so I'm going to make you some money. Guys, I want to run down all of our plays today. Ronald, the Bears and the Saints, correct? Jesse, the Chargers and the Giants? Joey D, the Ravens and the Packers. So we got some totals, we got some favorites, we got some dogs, we got some great things happening. Guys, if you don't follow the three of us, that's fine. We want you to go to Sports Memo and follow some of the proven documented cappers. This is the best collection of documented winning cappers anywhere on the planet. And there's a reason why we keep having Jesse and Ronald on, because they keep winning. They're in demand. You want them. I want them on the show. All the viewers out there, they want free plays from the guys that are winning. And we're going to keep bringing you here on Sports Memo Pro Football Forecast. We're going to keep bringing you winning cappers. Why? Because you want them. We want to give them to you. Guys, let me run down everything. I want to thank the most exciting website on the planet, Sports Memo, your one-stop shop for all your sports betting needs. Our wonderful panel of experts, and most of all, I want to thank all of you, our viewers, guys. Without you, we wouldn't be here. I'll be here from Sports Memo, Ronald Cabang, Jesse Schule, and Joe D'Amico. Good luck, and have a winning day.